Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter. This is PeteraryFiction, the place where we do not have the brains for literary fiction. Welcome back to another week, another video. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you are having a better summer than I am. Summer is almost over, which is bittersweet because finally people will stop sharing pictures of beaches on their Instagram stories, and I'm happy about that. But it will also mean that winter is coming, and that's never a good thing. Today, I decided that it was a good time to do the mid-year book freakout tag. I know we are past the middle of the year, but it's okay. I will do whatever I want because it's my channel. The mid-year book freakout tag is one of the most successful tags. Everyone and their mother has done them. It's basically a tag where you have to look back at your reading year and see the best books that you've read, the worst books that you've read, and also take a look at what is coming and what books you want to read before the year ends and stuff like that. So we'll take it step by step, and without any further ado, let's get on with the video. So the first question of the tag is the best book that I have read this year, and it's no surprise to anyone, but my favorite book of the year is this one, Sunrise on the Reaping. I don't think that any other book that I will read by the end of the year will top that, because I am very attached to that series and that world. It's not often that a new book comes out in a series that I read years ago and the book exceeds all expectations, and this is what Suzanne Collins managed to do with Sunrise. I have seen pictures of the movie that is currently in production, and I can't wait to see it. So yeah, this is my answer for the best book of the year. I will not say many more things because by now, if you have watched my channel, you know how much I love it. Question number 2 is the best sequel that I have read this year. It was a big surprise for me to see that I haven't read many releases this year at all. In fact, I have only read one sequel this year because I don't know, I'm not good at catching up with series, but I will try to fix it this month. But the only sequel that I have read this year is actually Iron Flame, this one. And I wouldn't say that it was a good book. I'm not a big fan of the world and the story. I just read it just because I have FOMO. For the sake of answering this question truthfully, but Iron Flame is the best sequel I have read, and it's also the only sequel that I have read. Hopefully my answer will change by the end of the year because I am planning to read the rest of The Book That Wouldn't Burn and the last 2 books in the 5th season trilogy. So hopefully not hopefully, I'm sure they will surpass Iron Flame in the ranking. So yeah, I'm sure of it. Next question is a book that it has been released, but I have not picked it up yet. And that book for me is The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I have been wanting to read a Silvia Moreno Garcia book for a while now. She is impressive in the sense that she writes books across all different genres, and that is very interesting to me because most of them are very well received. And The Bewitching actually sounds very interesting because I think it's a multi-generational book about 3 witches and that are part of the same family, and I'm not sure what they actually do, and I don't want to learn about what they do before starting reading this book. But yeah, I am very interested to see how these 3 generations meet and how the previous generation impacts the next one, and how Silvia Moreno Garcia has written these women. I think I will pick it up very soon. Actually, in September, the latest, I will have read this book, and I promise to be back and tell you my thoughts about it. I think I'm gonna love it. Question number 4 is the most anticipated release of the second part of the year. For some reason, I do not look up when the books are going to be released. Normally, I find out that a book is going to be released within a month prior to the publication date. I'm not good at keeping up with the publishing industry for some reason, but I have a choice for this one. I really want to read The Impossible Fortune, which is the fifth book in the Thursday Murder Club series. This series is one of my favorites. I love the characters, I love the banter that they have with each other, I love the humor that these books contain, and they are very fun to read. I wouldn't say that they are the most good quality-wise books or the most well-written books, but They're full of spirit and character, and I love them. There's also a Netflix adaptation coming out this month, and I can't wait to watch it. And in September, I will grab a copy of The Impossible Fortune as soon as I can. Question number 5 is the biggest disappointment of the year. And for me, this book is The Will of the Many by James Islington. I was actually very interested in reading this book, and I was certain I was gonna love it. And this was my nomination for the book club that I have with my friends. And I nominated this book for us to read, and we did. And all of us pretty much disliked the book, some more than others, for the same reasons. I wasn't really fan of the prose, I wasn't really fan of the main character, I wasn't really intrigued by the magic system, the few things that were described, because it wasn't very fleshed out. And at the end of the book, there were a couple of chapters that, to me, in the format of the book, they seemed like extra content. And when I discussed the book with my friends in the book club meeting, they started saying things about the twist at the end, and I was like, what twist? And these chapters were actually part of the book, and they had a big twist that changed everything. And it was actually a good twist, but at that point I didn't even care. So yeah, this was my biggest disappointment. And I was disappointed because certain booktubers that I have been watching for years recommended this book, and it just didn't live up to the expectations. So it's okay, not all books are for everybody, so yeah, no offense. Question number 6 is actually the biggest surprise of the year. And for me, this is The Death Row, because I was surprised that I finished it. Question number 7 is new favorite author. And for me, that was N.K. Jemisin. This was the first time that I read an N.K. Jemisin book. I read the 5th season earlier this year, and the writing style was actually very beautiful. It was very descriptive, and it captured the feeling of the scene. It was atmospheric, made me interested in exploring more of her work. As I said before, I think this month will be the one that I finish the trilogy, and maybe I will pick up another book of hers. I'm not sure if she has any recent releases, but I know for sure that she has plenty others for me to pick from. So yeah, N.K. Jemisin was very good at describing certain scenes where I was supposed to feel bad for the main character, and she managed to do that in a beautiful yet devastating way, and for that she deserves all the props that she has received. And yeah, thank you for existing, I guess, even though I don't know you. Question number 8 is the newest fictional crush.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Question number 9 is the newest favorite character, and without giving it any thought at all, for me, my new favorite character is Lee Donner. She is so sassy, and she is so fierce, and she is a diva with a capital D. And she is the funniest person, but she is unintentionally funny. She's not a one-liner girl. If you have the context, she's really funny. You have to get to know her to perceive her humor. I cannot see what McKenna Grace will do with Lee, but the casting seems perfect. And I think McKenna Grace is really excited to play Lee, and she will do her justice, I'm sure of it. Question number 10 is the book that made me cry. I'm not a very crier when it comes to books or movies or stuff, but the closest I came to actually crying was when I read The Bridge to Terabithia, because it was very sad. The book is sad in itself, but it also reminded me of my childhood, because if you haven't seen it, you can go ahead and see my reading vlog that I did for Bridge to Terabithia, and it was one of the stories that still haunted me from my childhood in a good way. And I was very excited to pick this book up for years, and I finally did it, and I'm glad that I documented the process of me reading it. And I was feeling all the feelings that I should, and I'm glad that I read that book. If you haven't picked it up, it will only take a couple of hours for you to finish it, so I highly recommend you pick it up and finish it now before watching this video. Go, I will wait. Next, question number 11 is a book that made me happy, and for me, that is My Friends by Frederick Backman. I have talked about this book in my previous video, and I don't want to tire you with the same things all over again. But yeah, that book made me happy because it showed me what art means to people, and it validated how I feel about art, and it pushed me to go back to my writing and work on my craft and try to make a product that I'm actually proud of, and hopefully I will help people with it like other books have helped me. Pretty much I'm happy that I read it, and I hope it turns into a movie because I think it will translate very well into a movie, and yeah, hopefully it does. Question number 12 is the most beautiful book that you have purchased or received in 2025. And for me, these books are the Hunger Games Deluxe Editions. Like, I will take out only one just for you to see. Look at it. Look at it. It's very beautiful. It does not have any sprayed edges because it's the poor edition, but it is beautiful. I don't mind that they do not have the sprayed edges. They're beautiful as they are, and I will not be greedy. I'm thankful for what I got. So, yeah, don't judge. And the last question is the books you need to read by the end of the year. And for this, I have plenty. I want to read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I want to read Bear Town by Frederick Backman. I want to read A Little Life by Hanya. I want to read Blood Over Bright Haven, and I want to read the Farseer trilogy. I have been asked by my friends to read Robin Hobb for a while now, and I think it's time. I want to enter this world that everyone seems to love. So I think in September I might start with the Farseer trilogy, The Assassin's Apprentice, and yeah, these are most of the books that I want to read. Of course, I probably will read more than that, I hope, because I have set myself up to read 50 books this year, and I have only read 20 at the moment. But I will push through. I will try to read as many books as I can by the end of the year, and hopefully I will achieve my 50 book goal. But yeah, I think these are all the questions of the mid-year book freakout tag. If you have reached this part of the video, as always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support and time. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you can get notified about when I post new videos. And I will see you next week with another video. Bye!